Hello, everybody. We are going to get started momentarily. We'll get started. You could say hi in the chat, of course, and I will try to pronounce your names. Hello. All right. I'm going to do my little announcement thing over here in Discord. What's up? Ahmed. I'll call you Halal, I think. And that's my annoying dog. Norbert, what's up? Dat. Matthew, Clarity, Creek. Let's go ahead and... Where's my little news section? Ah, there we go. All right. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of live streaming lately. Just last Wednesday, I live streamed on Free Code Camp again. And then we'll be doing that one more time next Wednesday as well at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Oh, you're from Ohio, too. I'm from Ohio. Northeastern Ohio. JVS, what's up? All right. All right, so we have 75 concurrent viewers right now. We're just about there. All right. So, for those of you who are unaware of what this show is, it's just a live UI UX review where you submit your designs in Discord. The link in the instructions are below here in the description in YouTube, and you submit them in the negative space submissions channel. You can see there's already some here, and I'll just take them as they come. And if you want to do a super chat, I'll thrust you to the beginning of the queue. Very, very simple. And also, this live streaming episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Pork Bun, who offers a free .design domain name. And so you can enter your domain name. This could be your personal name if you're a designer and you want to have a portfolio. And it's like, for instance, like Gary's Time and .design. It's very relevant. And so definitely take advantage of that. There's a number of things they offer here. You get, if I scroll down and find it correctly, free Whois privacy, free SSL certificates, free hosting trial, and free email trial. There's also like some type of free website builder, which I'm going to assume you guys aren't going to use because you're designers anyways, all right? So definitely take advantage of this offer. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Somebody said they're suffering here in Nigeria, Africa. What do you mean exactly? Let us know in the chat. Okay. I mean, exactly, how are you suffering? Okay, so let's go ahead and... Oh, but because of a terrorist group. Well, that's not cool. That sucks. All right, so I'm going to start with the very first one. All right, so looking at this, alrighty. Just a little bit of alignment issues. I like the navigation up here up top. It looks, yeah, everything's solid, decent logo, good separation between the links. That's all good. This part is a little strange to me. Why is the technologies underlined? I'm not too sure, but it throws off. It makes it a little bit cluttered visually. I mean, and then alignment here is kind of thrown off. I would probably like to separate that out differently somehow. Website, software, IT solutions. You know what? I have my bearded dragon in the back, and I feed it crickets along with a few other things, and the crickets are like chirping right now. It's very annoying. I'm going to go get up and remove that damn thing. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Very, very professional stuff here. Okay, so yeah, the alignment seems off to me. It's just like one thing for certain, I would take the get quote in our services and push it down just a little bit more. And maybe push this stuff up a tad bit. But you have 4 different lines right here, really 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of a little bit cluttered because they're all different things, 5 separate things. It's not like a paragraph with 5 different lines. It's all different. It's all styled differently. We have this, and then we have this blue underline, then we have this, and then this is slightly smaller, and then you have this. So you need to simplify that area more. It's going to help you a lot better. Coming down here, the next section, probably a little bit more white space beneath this here to separate this section out. So just to show you how it'll help achieve that, I can see you do have margin or padding here. Let's see. Padding bottom 60 pixels. You know, what about 120 pixels? And then also padding top, we'll do like 100 pixel. Nope, that's the wrong element. Right here, we'll take margin top. So like we'll do 50 pixels. So that looks better already, just with the white space added here. Otherwise, so I'll refresh and you can see the original. It's just a little bit cluttered in my opinion. So just increase the white space. Same thing right here. All this stuff is like real close together. Separate this section, top and bottom, just like I did up here. And it'll flow a lot better. Other than that, it's pretty solid. I like this section. Nice animations, very subtle. I probably want to push over. Yeah, you definitely want to give more white space from the left and right of each of these icons because they're kind of squished in there a little bit too much. I like this section. This is all solid. All right, and once again, the very first entry, we have somebody that is probably relying on placeholder values, unfortunately, with no labels or floating labels. So, yep, you definitely want to make sure that you're using floating labels or a label of some sort, because when you type this in, that goes away. People forget what they're entering. Okay. Outside of that, everything else is solid. What do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. Let me know here in the chat, and we'll see if we agree. For me, this is pretty solid overall. I mean, there's just a few things, you know. So I'm going to give this one a 7.1. Yeah, so it seems like you guys pretty much agree with what I'm saying here for the most part. All right, so next up, who is next? Sam Nan, here we go. We always get an entry from Sam Nan here. All right. He's a 14-year-old designer, apparently, or 13 or something like that. All right, so it's just like a Bose headphone sight design. Okay, so looking at this, pretty solid overall, like the navigation. These are nice, this left panel. I would say it's getting a little bit cluttered right here, just a bit. Also, this is a little bit confusing, these little pagination circles here. It's obviously a slide of some sort, but you have kind of this thing beneath, so it's a little bit confusing. I'm not sure how this would operate and why. One of them is like colored half gray and half white, so I'm not exactly sure there. That's probably the weak area of this design. Otherwise, pretty solid overall from what I see here. All right. We're not going to bother with a rating just because it's only one mock-up and there's not any other pages. But pretty solid overall from what I see. Definitely above a 7. All right. Next up. Who is next? Who is next? This is my realtor. I have to take this. I'm so unprofessional. Go ahead and you guys can rate this right now in the chat for something else to do. Hello. Pretty good. So he said he sent the invoice last night, but I didn't receive it. So he's going to be sending it here real soon to my email. But either way, what Steph and I discussed is $1,800 for that leak fix, and then $500 for the attic issue. And according to the inspection, like that whole thing was going to cost $1,500, which is probably way high. But so we're just going to say $500, and then that will go towards closing cost. So we'll add that to the $3,000. So that's like that becomes $3,000 becomes like $5,300, and then I forgot to mention, yeah, that 37-year-old AC unit. I mean, you agree it makes sense to have a home warranty, right? Okay. All right, so we'll ask those three things. Also, the other two things, those two fixes, I mean, if they want to find somebody, you know, a contractor or whoever else they want to do to fix it correctly, I mean, they can do that too. All right, I'll send that to you as soon as I have the invoice. But he did hear the $1,800 thing anyhow, but so, I mean, I don't know. Okay. All right, thanks a lot. All right, bye. All right, so, okay. All right, so now, why do I have to mute? I don't care to mute the mic. Why do I have to mute the mic? I don't care if you hear me. You can mute your own speakers, all right? All right, so here we go. Next up, all right, this is definitely a more modern, contemporary style of design, and I like these sorts of things. Refresh the page. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's nice. Very subtle. I like it. All right. So, let's see what's happening here. Men, woman. This isn't clickable, so, and I can't, there's no scrolling down. All right. So basically this looks like it's a work in progress because you can't scroll down even though it says. So for what this is, I like it. I mean, I think possibly we could push this image over, this whole photograph, and mute like right around here. Wait, did I say mute? I'm like reading at the same time. Then move it right around here. That way we get a little bit more of this text that's not completely, almost completely on top of the photograph. So I think a little bit more, you know, just adjusting it over here could help a little bit. But for what it is, it's really good. Yeah, I really like it. Very solid. What do you think this person should get for this particular page? Oh, one thing I would say, this hamburger menu icon, way too small. It's really tiny. So I beefed that up a bit. All right, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a different style of a layout. Like I said, it's a very contemporary / modern type approach, and this is the aesthetic though for it. In terms of not knowing where to go, you're right. The scroll down isn't that obvious, but nonetheless, I mean, I really like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this again. I want to look at it again. I'm going to give this a like 7.6 for me. Yeah. All right. Seems like some of you agree with me. All right. Next up. Who is next? Who is next? Who is next? Oh, I'm going to regret posting this, but got to learn to improve. Teach me, sir. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to be able to help you improve. I'm going to refresh this so we can all see what's happening here. Some sort of interesting intro animation there on that text. So what I see here predominantly is a big issue with a lack of white space and also scale. This logo is way too big. Scale that thing down. So probably like half its size right now. And you want to have like this text right here, way too large as well. And you have no white space on it. And so you definitely want to take that and fix that issue. Like again, font size, we're using clamp here, so I'm just going to change like to like 4M units, and then like the padding, or wait, margin rather. I mean, at least, shoot. At least give yourself 1M units right here, and that way it's not so squished up. So originally it's all the way up here, and it's just way too in your face. Let's check out, just out of curiosity, responsively what's happening here. All right, so responsively things are working well, but like these cards right here, I mean, you have this, it's basically 100% fluid design. At a certain point, probably like right around here, you want to have a fixed container, in my opinion, so that it doesn't keep indefinitely stretching out, but it would just stay centered at a certain fixed width once you get to around here. And also, I would add more white space around the cards, or at least around the outsides of the cards. The buttons are, okay, this is interesting because you expect these to be buttons, and they are buttons. They actually click somewhere, but you want to change this to cursor pointer. But when it comes to a button, you want to simplify the text inside. You don't want to have like multiple things inside of here, other pieces of text. So just say price list, services, terms, or whatever. And we have issues with white space inside. There's too much white space below, but not on top. You want to have equal white space. Not enough white space up here and between the icon and this text. So you want to just balance everything out a lot more. The borders are coming in too strong underneath these quick links. You probably can just get rid of them entirely, in fact. And there, of course, there's people always messaging me. So yeah, those are my main concerns. And also, I would say the effect on the text where it enters and stuff, I would remove all that, and also remove the glowing text that just keeps on glowing right here. Completely remove that as well. All right, so what do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. At least they did use labels on their form. Yeah, I'm not sure if animating gradients is really a good idea either, in my opinion. For this, I'm going to give a 4. I agree. A lot of people agree as well, as I can see. Wait, there it is. All right, next up, I'm going to regret. Okay, so this one right here. Could have at least put in like the HTTP colon for me. No big deal. I can paste it. Unfortunately, yeah, there's just not enough here for me to really judge. It's just a photograph with a search element and a logo. So you have to expand on this more. Let me hit Google Translate here. What's it doing? Why isn't it not translating it? The hell? I hit English and then it just doesn't translate the placeholder value. Well, whatever. I have no clue what's happening. So you need to like elaborate a little bit more. I know it's in a different language that I don't understand, but just a placeholder value isn't enough. I don't know, in my opinion. You might be going for the Google effect though, but there's just not enough here for me to really judge. Next up, this reminds me of Google. Like all these colors, I'm like, is this a Google, like an official Google site or something? Because I could tell it probably uses the same font. The colors look Google-y. Outside of that, if this is something that you created yourself, this illustration, I like it. That's done well. I like how it kind of just blends in. And hi, I'm Alexandru. Is that how you pronounce it? Alexandru or Dra? Okay, Alexandra. I'm an idiot. 22-year-old, okay, challenge seeker, etc., etc., etc. My work, contact me. Tad bit more white space on the right and left of the contact me button, but that's a very small gripe. I like the I like the call to action buttons and everything. So check that out. Yeah, one thing I would probably do on this version, if you can, is maybe make this whole background section on the dark version. Just change the colors so that they don't stick out quite as much. Maybe they make them a little bit lighter than this black background that you have them sitting on. See, because that's what's happening here on light. So this is a light blue and this is white, but this blue doesn't change in contrast to this. So I would experiment with that at least. Coming down, projects here, big, large size cards, which work, especially when you're trying to look at a quick preview of a user interface as a thumbnail. Pretty simple. Yeah, this is all pretty solid. What do you believe this person should get rated as on a scale, rather, from 1 to 10? Yeah, this is pretty solid. I'll go ahead and give this an 8 or a 7.9-ish. It's pretty solid. It's our highest one in a while. So it seems like a lot of people agree with that. All right. Next up. All right, 1 second. Let me see how long I've been streaming for. 22 minutes. Okay, cool. We'll be doing this for about 38 more minutes. All right, we have a super chat. We'll get to you after this one. Thank you for that. All right, so we have a big issue with a lack of white space between your columns here and this text right there. So you're going to want to take that padding right. Yeah, give it like 5 M units. And then that way you move that away from here, because this is what it was before and it's just too close. So yeah, I mean, you could bring this in a lot, like even more than 5 M units like this. So become a member. Maybe slightly hard to read that. I would take this type and make it bold if you're going to keep it white. Otherwise, just make it black. Which I'm not sure what black would look like on this screen. It might look bad. So I would probably just bold it. Or take the color, this green color, and go slightly down in terms of brightness. This part's good here. Get connected. This should be moved over, I would say, a lot, just to give it a little bit more separation between these areas. Let me move this over here. So yeah, what do you think this person should get for a rating? It's pretty solid overall. Let's check out the responsiveness. See right here, this is a problem. You'd want to address this because it just looks broken at this point. So use your media queries to make adjustments wherever necessary. This looks pretty good here though. I think this is better than a 5 for sure, in my opinion. Some of the illustrations are a little bit, I don't know, generic looking, but yeah. I mean, they seem to fit, you know, the theme. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a... Let me move this over here for a second. I'm going to give this design a 6.2 or 6.5 even, possibly. All right, so let's click on this one. This is the super chat. Thank you for that. Let's translate this. All right, full service. Oh wait. All right. So, okay, we have a problem. I was like, why is this so washed out and dark? There's a couple things happening here. There's an overlay that says note, but it's the same color as the background, so it's hard to spot. If you're ever going to do any type of overlay, like when it comes to those very annoying things like the cookie acceptance things or whatever, have a different background. Make sure it's very identifiable. Even make it pop up slightly after the site loads. I'm not sure if that's what's happening here. Let me see. Yeah, it's right there by default. I would wait a second and then have it maybe animate and fade in so that people don't lose it right here, because it's not that obvious. So I hit agree, and then we have another a pop-up. Get a 20% discount now. So you have 2 pop-ups before people can get to your main page. That's a huge no. You need to rethink that part for sure. The lines here, there's a lot. There's too much happening. There's just too much motion happening here. There's motion happening here. There's motion happening there. It's exciting to have animations and stuff, but there is such thing as overusing it, and that's definitely the case here. Like if you took, I also wouldn't have these high contrast lines right here. If you wanted to keep this motion in the background, just do the ones that are barely visible and maybe slow them down a tad bit. Outside of that, we need separation between these 2 elements. So, oh my God, I can't even select the type. Where's the full service part at? Oh, I'm not even going to be able to find it, I think. Yeah, because there's just too much stuff happening here. But I want to take this full service web agency, push, or take this part where it says rebring your company online, push that down like a good 2M units, or you know, just a good space so they're separated. Maybe also scale down the size of full service web agency and treat it more of as like a sub label or subtitle or whatever. So if I scroll, all right. So one thing I'm not sure about having this type of scroll is it's not the type of scroll that will, like once you scroll, it will bring you naturally automatically to like this part. I would prefer that, not to this thing where I have to keep on using my mouse wheel in order just to get through that whole thing, because you're making me work extra. So when a person starts scrolling, detect it, automatically shift them down to this section right here. Strategy, we put, okay, so there's good separation here between these 2 elements. I would probably want to bring this down, this whole section, bring that down more, and put like the strategy should start like right here or so. Not all the way up there. It feels like it's just tucked up way too high. But if you move it down, it's going to get centered between this photograph and this photograph, or that design, or whatever you want to call it. Continuing on. So I'm sure if I hit begin, it's going to do what I told you to do. Like if you hit YS. All right, YS is not working, unfortunately. But yeah, it should just bring us all to these sections. Too hard to read this. Not in like what we do in this section right here should be pushed way down compared to this, or pushed down at least a little bit further. So not enough contrast there. We need to rethink that. Again, there's some areas that are pretty good. Not enough white space right here. So we have this piece of text. We have please fill out the form, and then enter your name is like right there. And then also for some reason this is unnecessarily pushed over to the right. So it's like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So like, let me fix this real quick. Padding left. Get rid of that. And then we're going to go ahead and do margin bottom. There we go. Can also take this. Font weight bold. Color white. Get rid of the period on there. Although is this being translated? Yeah, it is. So it might be screwing that up. So that's a lot better compared to the original, which is right here. It's just too cluttered. All right, so that's my feedback on that design. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know what you think. And that X is too big, by the way, on that little overlay. For me, I'm going to give this one it has a lot of potential. It really does. I mean, if you just fix some of the issues, like with the readability, the alignment, the lack of white space in many areas, it would be pretty solid. So with that said, I'm just going to give this a flat 6.0. All right. With that said, I know we do have a super chat. I'm going to get to you in a second. However, we do have to mention our sponsor, which is Pork Bun. Interesting name. So basically, you can go here. It's the top line of the description in this YouTube live stream, and you can get a free .design domain name. Enter it right here. If you're a designer, it makes sense to use it. It's obviously very relevant. And along with your domain, you also get free Whois privacy, free SSL certificates, free hosting trial, free email trial, etc. So definitely take advantage of this. The reason I'm doing weekly live streams right now is because they're a sponsor. So definitely consider them because the more you support them, the more you support me. All right. Okay. So let's continue on. There was another super chat. So I'm going to click back up here. This is from Zodi or Zodi or something. Still a work in progress. Thank you for the super chat. All right. Okay. So yeah, I like this. I like the photograph based washed out background. I like the color. Of course, this lorem ipsum, you know, this is a work in progress. You know, I would definitely change the coloring of that. Again, I'm sure you're not intending on using this, but like if I were using this logo, I would make the black parts white and all that, so that, and then maybe, well, I'm not sure how I would approach that. Well, anyhow, this is fake anyhow. Let's ignore that because that's not the logo you're going to use. This right here, PZ Websites, freelance web designer based in Denmark, specialized in developing custom WordPress websites. Contact and recent work. This is all pretty solid. Yeah, not too much for me to say that's like wrong with this particular page. So if I click here, it's nice to have this clickable as well. All right. I would say there's a slight problem with visual hierarchy because there's a lot of boldness occurring in this section right here. This is very bold, and these are very bold as well. I'm not sure if you're including other font weights for this particular font so that you can make the font weight a little bit less. Like, yeah, it doesn't look like you are, so I would just create a lighter, use a lighter variation so that they're not all so bold. Right down here, this is good right here. As you can see, it's a different typeface, it looks like, and it's not bold up there, so there's good separation. Although it seems a little bit there's an issue with alignment here, though. You know, you have this stuff coming out from this column all the way to this column, but then inside here, this being shrunk in and seeing this column created from the left of the queue and the right of this period is right here. We have another column defined here, and then down here we can see another column that's all the way extending out. So right here at this point in design, it doesn't flow very well. So try to think about how you could try to create, you know, a nice consistent container in those areas. All right, so this is a cool area. I might make like the title here white instead of just this pink, or I'm not sure what color, that peach color or whatever. So same thoughts here probably. New recent projects, push that down. This card is right up against this label. Needs to be pushed down a lot more. All right, and this part looks pretty good here. Yeah, some people say you should avoid only using a underline for text fields just because it may confuse some users and they may mistake it for being borders that just separate this area and they're not going to know where to click. You know, it happens. There's a lot of simple people out there. So I think maybe also making, like, at least using, like, for instance, I'll try it right now. So if we get this text element. Background color has that all the way squashed. So you could do something like this. That way you can at least see it a little bit better. So there's a bunch of ways that you can approach that. That way you can fully see there's a square here. All right, outside of that, pretty solid. What do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. I think I know what I'm going to rate this. I'm going to give it a 7.3 or so. Some people are saying 7, some are 8, 6. Yeah, I'm doing super chats. Okay. All right. So let's continue on. I don't think there's any more super chats though. All right. How many people are watching? I'm curious. We got 256. Okay, not too bad for a Saturday. And we're at 36 minutes, so we'll be doing this for another 24 minutes or so, if my math is correct. Yeah. Okay. All right. So who is next? Let me try to remember where the heck I was. There are so many entries here. Jeez. I'm like losing my space completely. Oh, okay, 2 more entries. So we did this SOC. Okay. All right. And just hit play, hopefully, and... Wait, I saw this already. Did I review this on, Did I review this somewhere else, like on the free code camp? Well, actually, let me escape out of here and see what's happening. Oh, okay. I swear I saw this before. I personally like either the dark theme or this theme more than the white one, just because it gives it some character, or some color rather. Looking at this is pretty good. I don't see anything like blatantly wrong here. This section over here, I would take this element and make that bold somehow. Yeah, make it bold because it's like a sub headline, because it's styled the same almost as this. Outside of that, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so there's just a bunch of things here. I can't like really pick one out and ask for a rating. I think this could probably be, this could be maybe slightly smaller, but yeah. So yeah, good stuff for the most part from what I see. We're not going to bother with a rating though. JVS, which is my main admin and also the person who's working with me on the design course relaunch. All right, so let's go ahead and refresh this. Okay, so at least that that pop-up doesn't show up again. So that's a good thing. Hold on, we're gonna get that stupid thing done there. So Shockbite, start a Minecraft server. So JVS, this is something that you made. Is this like a something you made for somebody, or is this your own little service that you started? Let me know in the chat. Rent a Minecraft server, rent a game server. I would probably maybe use a, it's kind of hard to see the rent just because the font weight's so thin and the color's kind of darker. So just slightly, you know, boost that up, I would say. Which is the link below. Wait, this is the original site? Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm not like... Oh, the redesign. Okay, 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 okay. I don't want to critique the other one. All right, cool. So let's take a look at this. I'm gonna refresh it. Now this did have some animation initially, didn't it? Why is it not animating now? Hold on. That's weird. Well, anyhow. All right, so I like this. I like this a lot better than this. This one seems a little bit just too cluttered. We have borders on the top of the drop downs. It's hard to read this part. It's a little bit distracting with this background here. Oh my God. Oh, that's JVS. Actually, I should probably read that right now. Oh, no, that's because somebody gave a super chat. So yeah, I mean, this right here, much more simplified. I like it. Maybe you could give this a little bit of animation, like make this house over here and then this house like kind of float independently. That way it'll have a little bit of movement to it. Coming down here, like, you know, very good white space separation. We see there's an equal amount from here and an equal amount right here between these two containers, and consistent white space applied is very good. Very simple subtitles that, or headings rather, that work well. We're emphasizing one of these options over the other, and all the colors are working well. Same thing here. Yeah, good white space. All very solid. What do you think JVS should be getting for a rating for this? One being the worst and 10 being the best. Ooh, we got some high ratings here. Somebody said -1. Hey, Gerline, the person who said -1, I might not want to do that because JVS is also a little a moderator here in this chat. -1. For me, yeah, I'm gonna be super dead honest on this one, and we're gonna give him a 1 just because it was just all over the place, and yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'm gonna give this one a yeah, we'll give this one an 8.3. All right, that's solid, but you know, I don't want to give any higher. I'd like to see it when it's realized in HTML and CSS and all that. All right. Let's continue. We have some other super chats here. Super chat 3. All right. I'm going to, let's see here, Netlify app. All right. We have yet another portfolio. All right. Refresh. What the hell happened? Well, that's an, oh. Well, we had some animation coming in here. There, I'll just get, there we go. So we have a lot of animation occurring here. It's taking a little bit too long in my opinion. So I would probably, if you're gonna have that animation, make it a little bit quicker. The sidebar. Okay, so first there's a number of issues on the sidebar over here. The logo being such a thin outline, it looks pixelated in areas. So if you're going to use that, use a thicker stroke on this, and it'll come out a lot better. Or you could just fill the whole thing with the same color and don't use the outline approach. Second, the other issue is these are way too small. This sidebar right here, really small, way too small. You need to beef up the size of that, the type over there. This right here, I prefer to left align this. The contact and resume button are too small. You need to beef those up as well. Contact me, resume. Me personally, I don't want to look at your resume. Like the first thing I would want to look at is your work. So I would change resume probably to see my work and make that the primary call to action, and then the contact me or your resume could be the secondary call to action, the one that's in the outline. All right. And again, you could probably do something else interesting as far as like a texture in the background or something, just because there's a lot of white space that's blank and nothing's happening. So what do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. One. I think it's definitely higher than a 1. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a, for what it is. Oh, it's probably worth clicking that. Yeah, get rid of these outer glows. Plus, this line is broke for each one of them. So you want to simplify that. I'm going to go ahead and give this one just a 4.8. And it seems like I'm pretty much closer to most of you. Thank you for the super chat. Boy, we're getting a lot of super chats here. Well, we couldn't find the user here, but thank you for the super chat. Super chat 5. Modest Dev. All right. By the way, I'm going to ask, because we have quite a few super chats, no more super chats. Don't do anymore. So anybody after Matko, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do your review if you send a super chat. All right, looking at this, this is okay. This is similar to the other design that we just looked at, where there's a lot of white space, but at least there is a background image of texture of some sort. But I could tell it's not 100% grayscale. There's a little bit of color occurring in the background that's kind of throwing it off. So it needs to be pushed 100% grayscale, unless I'm seeing things incorrect. Recent posts, all posts, put a little bit more white space between those two buttons, because one can accidentally click the other, you know, and that's a usability issue. Good separation between these two elements. So this is a blog for Laravel developers, etc., etc., etc. Recent posts. Okay, so there's an issue here that's not UI design related, but it's UX design related. You have this whole space designated that you can use, and this is a blog, and you want people to click on recent articles. You don't want to have to click the. You don't want to have them click on a recent post button just to get to your articles. All this stuff. Like this whole section right here and this little animated element right here can be pushed all the way up, and then you can just show your recent post in thumbnail format, kind of like how you're doing here. So this whole 100 viewport height sort of hero section is unnecessary for this type of site. For your article page, this should extend out to the very left of this column defined here and to the very right over here. More white space as well inside of this. Let me show you how much white space helps. First of all, we'll take this, and this is, I'm not sure exactly how this is being defined. The width at least. Well, I'm not going to mess with that, but the padding, 1.25 rem. I mean, that looks better, but it would also help if I yeah, it needs to be wider, but obviously pushed over here. So definitely address that. All right, so what do you think this person should get for a rating? This here, it's kind of like I'm getting flashbacks from my own site, a design course. I would try to do something a little bit more polished, maybe like this. The lines are just too close, and it's also not like even. There's like less white space here. It just seems a little bit cheaper. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'm going to give this a rating of, yeah, for me it's kind of like the middle of the road a little bit. I'm going to do a 6.5. All right, so we have a couple more super chats. All right, so super chat 5. Was that person? Oh no, right here. Okay. Ooh, okay. We've got some work here to do. All right. So first of all, I'm going to see if this is even responsive. Yeah, I guess it is. All right. So there's a lot of issues occurring here. All right. So I'm going to go through them as fast as possible. First, there's hardly any white space at the top of the title. That needs to be pushed down at least to this amount that's found at the bottom of this element. This little border right here, unnecessary. Plus it just clashes with this color here. It doesn't work well. Not enough white space on the left of this compared to this border. If you're going to keep it, you need to push that over so that about starts like right around where the O is. Over here, not enough white space, and it's just kind of pushed up. Everything's just like smashed up to the top of the browser. This needs, this needs to, you need to rethink the whole thing, I'll be honest with you. The card itself is actually not bad, but I'm talking about the whole layout as it is, as it stands. Like I'm not even sure. This looks like a footer, but it says about us. So I guess it is the footer, but the footer should be a footer and not just hanging out in the middle of the page. So you can achieve your bottom, your footer with CSS. You push that down. Pages completely misaligned over here. So in this context, what I would suggest you do, and what I suggest most of you do, of course, and here comes a shameless plug, is check out the UI Design Bootcamp with myself. All right, we have 2,700 students already, and there's like 8 or 9 hours worth of UI design fundamentals and projects and challenges and all that stuff. And it's going to help somebody like you tremendously. So definitely take advantage of that. And also go to designcourse.com, put your email for the upcoming UI UX design service that I'm offering. But there's just a lot of issues here. One of the things you could do without paying any money is go to dribble.com and just get inspirations for user interfaces. Just go to web design, the tab, and just sit there and look at certain designs. If you see one you like a lot, you like the style of, and you say, hey, I want to be able to design like that, just as practice, recreate the design. Don't use it, as your own and call it your own, but muscle memory is developed by doing that, and you'll get better. So what do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm going to give this a 2. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and switch back. All right. A previous super chat has been identified. Scroll up in DMs to the one I pinged you in the yellow background one. What's that mean? Oh, right here. All right, which one is it? Was it David? Hold on, let me go back. See, sometimes you click on this and it's like, oh, there it is. Hamza. Okay. Make sure, I want to make sure I got that right, and I'm looking at the right one. Okay. Yeah, okay, there. Very good. All right, awesome. Looking at this, let's see. What's that do? Okay. So, one issue here that I see is, can I go back? No, okay. All right, that page is good. Okay. That initial page, the call to action button, right here, should be white with the purple text instead, because it gets lost here. So that's one thing you would want to do. this looks good. I like this design a lot better than that splash page. If I click register, so one issue here is the logo. Honestly, I'm not sure if you're in control of the logo, if you designed it or somebody else did. It just, I don't know. It seems a little bit, it's too thin in certain areas of the logo. So at this size, it gets lost. Outside of that, I'm not sure if I would go with such a strong glow, outer glow on the cards. And at this size that I'm seeing it now, things are too small. Like the add button is really tiny. I can barely see it, and it just doesn't work well. Especially being right, like centered, or I mean, positioned to the right like this. It's clashing with some of the product images, so you want more white space. Instead of having a button that says add, you could just maybe put a plus or like a cart icon or something like that instead. Click add. Yep, that's adding it. Cart. All right, so yeah, it looks like some of the text is too small. And also, I would take this and left align it over here because it feels empty because you already have a right align element over there. So yeah, that's my quick review of that. What do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. For me, yeah, I mean, some of the pages felt better designed than the other ones. Like I'm not a huge fan of this one, but you know, this page, I really like that. That's done well. All right, I'm just going to give this one a probably just like a middle of the road 5 or so. All right. We're going to continue on with the super chats. We got like a bunch all at once. Super chat 6, I think, is the next one. All right, very interesting. A lot of stuff happening here. All right, developer dvlpr.pro. Okay, that's cool. Interesting sort of idea here with the hover. One problem, I would probably make this about me, this orange right here, so it sticks out better. Just because all 3 of those elements are white, so the about me, you know, that color should be a purple. Obviously a different purple, one that's like that, along with the little icon there as well. So I would change that, you know, to something like that, that's for sure, because if we refresh, it sort of gets lost a little bit. This right here, I think you could simplify this graphic, this illustration. It's really cool, but I think the part that's kind of throwing me off are the little overlays right here, and then how they're all intersecting with some sort of like overlay filter or blend mode or whatever. It just seems it's a little bit too busy, just a tad bit. It's still really cool though. Next up, oh, okay, so we have the nice smooth flowing scroll to, which works pretty well. Now this is all pretty nice. I probably have more white space underneath skills and experience to push this section down a bit. All right, so that's pretty cool. It transitions to like a horizontal scroll just to show the actual, and I'm using my mouse scroll wheel, by the way, to navigate through these. Yeah, this is pretty solid. I was also included a quick form here as well. Don't rely on people having to use their email client, because as I mentioned, you know, countless times, people could be on their phone and their email client might not be set up, and they'll forget about you if they want to contact you. So having a form in the actual site makes sense too. So what do you think this person should get for a rating? 1 being the worst and 10 being the best. For me, I'm just going to give this one like a 7.5, 7.6. It seems like most of you disagree with me this time, though. You think it should be rated higher. This is pretty, yeah, maybe like a 7.7, 7.8. That's my opinion. All right. Who's up next? Seven. All right, so we're going to do like 2 more of these. Wait. I already did that one. Want to make sure that I'm not skipping anybody. Super Chat 7 is Mystical LMAMBA. What? Why is it showing me? Oh, right here. Okay, sorry. There we go. Let's refresh that. I think we had some animation. In my opinion, I would get rid of this animated and this big thick line, this border here. It just seems unnecessary. And then once you got rid of that, let me see if I can get rid of it. I'm really not sure if I can. No, of course it's something else. It's some other element. Well, nonetheless, I would get rid of it and then push and structure things out so that this whole, if you're just going to have this little amount of content, I would structure it out so that this is centered vertically. So it's not just sitting up here at the top where we have all this empty space at the bottom. Check me out. So that's a little strange. You're basically bringing them to like a mobile navigation when you put check me out. So you're requiring an extra click just to get to the navigation and then another click to figure out where they want to go from there. So that's just, it's too complex of a way to try to get people to certain content. Instead of just doing some check me out, which the verbiage doesn't really make sense to me, I would put in like see my work or a portfolio and then a contact like button, like a secondary call to action. So that's my review for that one. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know what you think. Like projects is tucked at the bottom. That's like going to be one of the first things that people want to see. Get rid of that drop shot. I mean this colored purple drop shadow. It feels very outdated in my opinion. Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna have to give this one around like a 3.5 or so. Thank you for the super chat though. And definitely check out my Scrimba UI UX design course. Okay. I think we have one more. Super chat 8. Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, that is it. Yeah, so I've been streaming already. Thank you for the super chat, by the way, from Matco. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. No design work yet from my side. All right, awesome. Okay, so yeah, we're now an hour and 3 minutes now. I'm going to be live streaming again this coming Wednesday on the Free Code Camp channel. So definitely check that out. And I'll also be live streaming probably Friday or Saturday or Sunday of next week as well on this channel. All right, so as always, check out the sponsors. This is going to be the final time that I mention the sponsor here. Let me get that link here. And if you guys have, or girls, if you have a design portfolio, definitely consider using a free .design domain name right here. Click on the top link in the YouTube description. It's relevant. There's major brands using it, like Adobe is using .design. You get free Whois privacy, SSL certificates, free hosting trial, and free email trial. So definitely check that out. All right, so as always, make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you